A heartbreaking story out of Wimberley tonight where up to 12 people are still missing, including 2 families with children. They were swept away in the flood sometime after midnight Sunday when the house they were staying in reportedly broke apart.
They include the McComb family. You see here Laura McComb and her 2 children, Leighton and Andrew, who were vacationing at the time at a cabin on the Blanco River.
KXAN's Lindsey Bramson spoke today with Laura's sister, who was on the phone with her when their cabin was swept away.
We are in a house that is now floating down the river. Call Mom and Dad. I love you, and pray.
Those were the last words Julie Shields had with her sister Laura. She was on the phone with her when the cabin she was staying in with her husband Jonathan and 2 kids was carried away in the rushing water.
My sister will always be my sister.
The conversation ended when Laura thought she saw light from a helicopter above there to rescue them.
And I just expected to go to the Wimberley High School the next day and find her. And then when she wasn't there, I knew something was very, very wrong.
Jonathan was found 12 miles away and was taken to a San Antonio hospital for treatment. Laura and their 2 kids, Leighton and Andrew, still missing. Julie says Jonathan did everything he could to help save them, but the cabin eventually split apart, separating them.
The blessing in all of this is that she is with her children. And she is with her babies, and she will be with her babies always in heaven. And we know that as a family.
Lindsey Bramson, KXAN News.
Longtime KXAN viewers may recognize Julie Shields. She worked as an anchor and education reporter here at the station for several years. Of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to Julie and her family. The McCombs were with Ralph and Sue Carey, along with their daughter, Michelle Charbra, and her husband, Randy, and their 4-year-old son, Will. Governor Greg Abbott making a stop in Wimberley today to see the damage. He thanked the hundreds of first responders and took a tour over the Blanco River.
You cannot candy coat it. It's absolutely massive. And I think it sends a powerful message to anyone who is in harm's way over the entire state of Texas over the coming days as we see ongoing rain.
And Governor Abbott also issued a disaster declaration for a large part of Texas. The governor declared 24 counties disaster areas because of the storms. The list includes Bastrop, Caldwell, and Hays counties. The affected counties span from central to north and east Texas. Travis County first responders were extremely busy tonight. This was the scene near Lamar and the 15th Street Bridge. A woman and her dog had to be rescued there. And we got perhaps our best view of the flooding in downtown Austin from our Austonian weather camera. Look at that, the highest camera in Austin. From 700 feet up, we could see the scale of the flooding at House Park and all along Lamar Boulevard.
And the flood swamped businesses along Lamar, like the 7-Eleven store and the Shoal Creek Saloon near 12th Street. Smaller shop owners scrambled to protect their businesses from the rising water. The owner of Gia managed to move much of his merchandise to higher parts of his store to keep it from being damaged, but he'll need some time to recover.
Really, it's just having to be closed for a couple of days to clean up. Other than that, it's hopefully we're covered by insurance for the rest of it, but it's just closing the doors for 2 days.
The water has mostly receded, but the flood left behind debris in the areas where it flooded.
Throughout the afternoon, we witnessed several water rescues where there's usually a sea of pavement rather than water. This one happened outside the Monarch condos near where Shoal Creek meets Lady Bird Lake in downtown Austin. And take a look at this. This is Williamson Creek in South Austin. You can see how that creek was really raging just before 6 o'clock tonight when a man who'd fallen asleep on the banks woke up in the water and clung to a tree until EMS crews arrived.